Event of betrayal, how does an exotical go on? Child, an exotical will be just fine. We will navigate after that betrayal. We will disconnect from opposition, right? This is to the exotical community. If the betrayal occurs within the dynamics of an allyship or allegiance, it can be a complex experience. Um, the first thing I would suggest is to process your emotions, right? You want to take time to process your feelings about the betrayal, what that looks like, whether it's journaling or talking to a trusted friend who can help clarify your thoughts and emotions. I wouldn't suggest producing mass videos, beating a dead horse. Sometimes you gotta give things time to settle. In that moment of settling, aha moments can be had, Clarity and understanding can follow. But if we don't give it that time, that may never happen, right? We want to, in that time, reflect on how the betrayal affects your allegiance and commitment to the party who betrayed you, right? Because if this was an ally, there were times where you were writing in their comments supporting them. You were reposting something they shared and said, I stand 10 toes on this allyship, right? And you kind of feel like they made you look silly because you trusted them. Reflect on how the betrayal affects your allegiance and commitment to the party who betrayed you. You have to consider what specific actions led to this feeling and their broader implications. You want to define clear boundaries based on your values and emotional well being. This could mean reducing contact with individuals involved or reevaluating your support for certain initiatives. If you feel comfortable, you can express your feelings to those involved in the betrayal. And I would suggest using powerful I statements, right? To articulate your experiences without assigning blame, right? And that'll foster a constructive dialogue. And like always, you want to connect with others who share your values and can provide emotional support. That's healthy. This community can help you navigate the aftermath of betrayal and reinforce your commitment to your principles. Reach out and touch an exotical's hand, right? Because that's your sister. Use the experience, right? Use it as a learning opportunity. Reflect on what the betrayal reveals about your values and how you wish to engage in future alliances. Decide whether you want to rebuild the relationship or reassess your allegiance. If rebuilding, consider what changes need to happen for trust to be restored, if that's possible, right? If you've considered reassessing, think about what new alliances might align better with your values, right? Outside of YouTube, in real life, if I question someone's allegiance to me, I question it all. Everything is brought into question. The trust is broken. In my life, I have had several acquaintances like that. Had, past tense. You cannot be my friend and be a weak bitch. Or be the person who is blind, who cannot detect a coup d'etat or set up of any sort. Infantry, advanced at sunrise. I need my people with militia mentality, weapons drawn, and feet on the neck of every appa. But that's just me. People want friendship. They want friendship without truly understanding the responsibility of what that entails. Allegiance and allyship are two concepts, right? Two interwoven concepts that strengthen one another. When you try to separate the two and partially stand on business, you've got yourself a slippery slope. Ain't no half stepping. it's always going to be the wrong road, okay? Recognizing the importance of both and understanding how neutrality is detrimental is vital for effective, upward, and forward thinking engagement. Navigating betrayal requires a thoughtful approach that prioritizes emotional well being, accountability, learning and enabling people to cultivate meaningful connections moving forward. But it's not the end of the world. Some things can be repaired, others cannot. Some events and people involved are just lessons in which we can grow from, or not if we so choose. You cannot sometimes F with me though. I'm not budging on that. You have to handle me with care if you're an ally. You have to be mindful of the language you use, where you use it, and how you use it. Messages should be worded delicately when concerning me. Kid gloves, not gloves off or neutral. Dear God, neutral. Neutral is not, oh my God, it is not the word to use with me. I require allegiance and worship. Another video on that later. But if my chargy, my good girlfriend tells me she's neutral, she's an enemy. Straight up. That alone is inciting a war. It's mother her. She's no friend of mine, Kelly Price, R. Kelly, and Mr. Biggs. Neutral gives very cutesy, very sometimesy, very disingenuousy, very foulsy. Neutral means you want to be able to electric slide in and out of accountability and slide in and out of owing me anything and ultimately paying the allyship dust. I know what it is. Don't let anyone try to gaslight you into believing any different. Yo, if someone struggles with prioritizing me in our dynamic, if caring about me is hard, yo, I don't care whether you live. You could be going with the wind. I don't have a bleeding heart. I don't give a damn. That's who I am, straight up. And no. I didn't watch every video. I did not watch each and every response because energetically I hate to see it. And I don't have to, because I'm expressing my take on what will never fly with me and why you shouldn't allow it to fly with you. Take heed. Be very cautious. Allyship without allegiance is dangerous. Go argue with your mama. Don't. It's dangerous. That's not negotiable. What is a neutral ally anyway? Allyship fundamentally can't be neutral. So when I first heard the two paired together, I was genuinely confused. I swear I'm not coming at her neck, but I was really confused but only for like 2 seconds because I quickly clocked it. Could someone in the comments tell me what a neutral ally is? Because the two together, that's fighting words. Like, you may or may not realize it, but to a woman with integrity, a real right, down by law, chick from the inner city, that's fighting words. It is way too triggering because no. Too many people who are supposed to be down by law are non-committal and neutral. Neutrality is non-committal. I'm going to neutrally say, I hear you, I see you, and stand by and watch you get neutrally dragged. Do I get neutrally dragged? No. Nah, why is you here, ho? Why is you here, ho? Nah, I windmill for mine. And the timing. Can we talk about the timing? I promise I'm not suggesting malintent because I haven't done enough research to stand on that, right? I can't say malice. It's questionable, but I'm not certain if it's malice. It's still not trustworthy, right? You still can't trust it, but I'm not sure if it's malice. But whether it is or whether it is not, can't be trusted. because the allegiance isn't there. You don't have an allegiance to me. So we're done here. And this is me saying this. For the record, I am not speaking for EU. I'm simply validating EU's feelings. And I don't know what her feelings are because I'm not caught up and I haven't personally asked her, EU, how do you feel? Right? But I am saying that if I were in her shoes, this is how I would feel. This is how I would interpret the current state of affairs. Anyway, the timing couldn't be worse. When all the weird attacks, mass tagging, obsessing, creepy harassment, bullying, threats of physical violence, and doxing attempts, when the world is against me, right? All of this is happening online. All of this is happening at an all-time high. Now is when you sit with people who don't fancy me and decide to use sensationalized wording with negative connotations. Ally these nuts. You can ally these nuts. YouTube and in real life, whether you know how I feel with absolute certainty, the fact that you know I could be hurt. Can't trust you, kid. I don't fool with people who move flippantly with my feelings. Oh God, no. And should we make up? No. Should I let you back in? Hell no. To do it again? No. Ally these proverbial testicles. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I have too many Scorpio placements in my chart. Scorpio stellium or stellum, depending on how you pronounce it. I have more than 3. I cannot. For me, not speaking for anyone else, but at this point, you don't even exist to me anymore. Look, sometimes you want to be an ally, but you're not an ally. Because that requires an immense amount of fortitude. What you are is a viewer who resonates with some talking points. Ally is too great of a word for you. Allyship is not. See, I'm not jealous. I'm subscribed. I agree with you a lot. I'm pretty. I can be pretty too. I benefit from pretty privilege too. No, it's not that. It's allegiance and action to follow. Full stop. It's going up for and not playing about someone or a space. If this is you, if you fall into the category of weak, don't feel bad. It's just not in you, right? Only revolutionaries and those deeply influenced by revolutionaries can relate. You may not have the guts to stand 10 toes on something. I know my heart. I know I can't be backed into a corner. Heart of a lion. But I understand that most people struggle with allegiance. They don't even know what it is. It's too great a concept. I used to hate these people. Or strongly dislike these people. Like deep-seated, strong feelings, the strongest dislike possible. That's what I felt for them. But for my peace and sanity, I said, these people, another one bites the dust. And I let the trash take itself out. That's it. Being weak doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. Bad is relative and subjective, but it most certainly makes you someone I want to exist only at a great distance from me. And if allegiance is too great a weight of a responsibility to bear, what are we even talking about? Why am I talking to the likes of you? Go now. Get out of my mother face. All relationships will break down without allegiance. It's a necessary ingredient, or it's a bust. Allyship without allegiance is a dangerous recipe for disaster. I hope this video brings clarity to the topics explored. That's my time. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.